recently, I have been, quite restless. I have, for some times, I have felt this anger, within myself. I am angry. I've been angry with the world. I've been, angry with the system. I have these feelings that, the system has failed us. Whether, it is, democracy, uh, your international organizations, or the way that we live, it has failed us. And somehow, I have retreated into my little sanctums. I try to protect it. I try to protect myself, from the outside world, from all the things that troubled me. This this things that is happening to me. I have found out. It is not just me, but I think it is the zeitgeist, or the spirits of our generations, of our times, that it is a spirit. It's not even the winter of discontent, but it is an era of discontent. you know it is not just in Thailand, that we felt that the system, that the world has failed us. But when I talk to my friends in the UK, in the United States, or everywhere in the world, people, are feeling the same things. And even the younger generations, that they all feel the same things. That we are building walls and carved a little piece of our existence just for ourselves. So this first stories, it will be the starting point of my talk. Instead of talking about sufficient economies, uh, or sustainable development, I will be talking about how I deal with this anger within myself. I have discussed this with a friend of mine who, she's English, she's a medical doctor, who's dealing with mental health. We're talking about the problem of our world, of our eras. And we have come to sort of in an agreement, and the same understanding that everything, the problems, the rest, the unrest in the world, and all international issues in this world has arises from one thing, from our fear. Our fear that because now we have realized that climate change is a reality, and that all the natural resources, even the clean air that we are breathing in, has become a scarcity. And last year, COVID-19 happens, and and it just spread it in a very fast speed. The pandemics, and there's a fear of our death, of extinctions, and we have just realized that death has become a reality. And I think that's why we are carving out all the little space for ourselves, and trying to accumulate the natural resources just for us to survive. A few weeks ago, I retreated to my humble abode again, just to escape from the world. And on the way there, we have to go through the areas that is a deep valleys, and it's areas that connects the central plain of Bangkok and the high plateaus of the northeast. And it's usually a place where middle class and rich Bangkokians would have uh, their retreats, to get fresh airs and cool weather. But once I got there, I have found that it has become a valley of smogs. And we have always thought that the smog problems, the PM 2.5 dust, is a problems of Bangkok, it's this, in urban areas, but it is not. And as you can see, from the map, that I have shown you, that the smog is not just anyone's problem, but it's everyone's problem. It's caused by the burning of the field in Cambodia and in Laos. And why is that? Because of the transnational companies has bought up lands in those countries, and trying to produce as much food as possible. And then it is because people in Bangkok, people in Thailand, we all we want to eat well. We are addicted to sugar, and because of we are addicted to sugar, that's why the areas of sugarcane growing is growing, and as a result of that, the field has to be burned down, so that's why we are encountering this problem with smog. The way to get out of this is to break the cycle. I think it's just to be sufficient, to be sustainable, must start from from changing the change in our relationship with things. We shouldn't expect to have cheap products and cheap food in such a vast number anymore. We should be responsible for what we consume. And also, we must observe interdependence, and it's not just the independence in terms of of philosophies, but in terms of what we are dealing with in everyday lives, what we consume and what we produce. And it's all interconnected. Because we want to eat well, we want cheap food, so that is why the field is burning, and that is why the transnational the or liberals capitalist that has been invested in cheap labors and cheap fields without concerning with the environments or the well-being of people. So in order to change that, we must be able, we must become more responsible in our consumption and productions. One simple idea, but it's a very difficult practice. That is, we have to live a mindful existence. We have to be mindful of what we are doing. What we are dealing with. And how we perceive the world. Yes, and we have to come to a realization that it's not viable to carve out just a little piece of land, a little piece of humble abode, safe abode, just for us, or just for oneself. But we need to work together, and we need to see the interdependencies of our existence with other existence. If we don't want to deal with smog, we need to find a better job, or a better way of farming for farmers, and we must condemn, and we must campaign for the change in the way manufacturing industries is operating, because I'm a very practical person. So I'm just focusing, on just, one thing, so that, me, myself, as an ordinary person, can do. That is, to be responsible in, my own consumptions.